there is a moment that changes everything. It is the moment that you look at your reflection and you can finally clearly see that the person you thought you were or think you are in your eyes, the person that you thought that you've been becoming is not the person that you truly are inside. And so I want to share that moment with you of how I actually started, the moment that I started on my journey that brought me here today with Authentically You and what authentic really means. So, rewinding back in time, many decades, I was 21 years old and I was in my best friend, Adisha, who I mentioned earlier. She's an intuitive healer. And at this time, we were still young and trying to figure things out. And we were still in our party days. And I remember sitting in her mom's apartment and it hit me. I looked at her and I said, "Can you please ask me about my dad?" And in that moment, I knew that I was ready to be cracked open. And so I finally spoke about what it really meant to be abandoned, to have an absentee father, to live in a home that had no real love or warmth. It was quite cold in the home that I lived in because there was a lot of trauma. And how I had disguised this or masked this for the first 21 years of my life was, you know, through denial. And what denial looks like is, I'm fine. I don't need to talk about it. I'm good. Yeah, I've moved on. And the moment of acknowledging for myself that I was in denial blasted everything wide open. And from there, I started on the journey within. And of course, it has not been easy. And that's why we're here, because it is not an easy journey to walk. And you need people who are in your corner, who get you, who get the path, who get what it means to walk through the dark and the shadow to get to the light. And so for me, that was my best friend Adisha, and we've been doing this for as long as we've been together through the ups and the downs. And she's still in my life today. And she's the one who helped me get clear on what this invitation needs to be for you to come join me, for you to be here today, and for what this is going to be for us moving forward. Here we are talking about being authentically you. So, what does that even mean? I think there's an idea of what we think is authentically us, right? I grew up even on my journey since that moment thinking, yes, this is who I am. I'm being the most honest I can with myself. I'm the most emotional raw version of me. Yes, at the time, for sure, but there's more. And it takes time to crack it wide open, especially when you come from a past that's traumatic and we need to process that trauma. And from there, we peel back the layers of who we authentically are. And so, what that's done for me is helped me find my way to where I am now, where I'm helping other people with their journey and what that means. And that's not just clients, that's myself, my friends, my husband, my daughter, and again, myself over and over again. So, in that moment, that changed everything, where the veil was lifted for me, I started to finally feel a piece of the light that I knew was inside, that I've always known that I was inside, but I never knew how to reach because I didn't know how to get there. And that was the beginning that I started to walk on this path. And so here we are today, authentically you. What does that mean? How do we reach to the deepest core of our souls so that we can allow ourselves to be fully expressive in a way that's unapologetic to the world and to ourselves so that we can fully honor who we truly are. It is our birthright to be here as our truest selves, the most honest version of us. And we can have that version of us to be seen not just by the people closest to us, but to be seen, to be heard, to be authentically you. A question I get asked a lot is, what brought you here? And lately I've been saying, well, I broke my back and then this and this and this happened. But the truth is, what brought me here today was a moment that happened over 20 years ago. And I want to acknowledge that moment and honor that moment, because if I never had the courage to ask my friend to ask me about my dad, I don't know how long I would have stayed hiding my true self behind these feelings of fear, of sadness, of terror, of loneliness and confusion. And I felt completely lost. And I didn't get out of it right after that. It took a long time. It's been a journey. And that's what I'm excited to explore with you in this space, so that we can find the courage in ourselves to face the things that we might not want to face on our own. But when we have the support and the love of people who see us for who we truly are, then we might be willing to crack the door open just a little bit more into our hearts, because in the act of doing that, we really allow love to fill our souls and fill our hearts. And from there, we can tune into the most authentic version of ourselves. So here's my invitation to you is, has there been a moment? Do you remember a moment where you were willing to crack yourself open? Has it happened already? Is it happening now? Or is it coming soon? Wherever you are on your journey, I hope we can meet somewhere in the middle and continue on this journey within, to find our truest, most authentic selves, so that we can be seen, be heard, be authentically you, both on camera and in life, because this touches everything that we do. Until the next one.